Oh, and welcome back to Clear the Ice here on the Edge of Philly Sports with your boy Matty B. And it's great to be back on Clear the Ice. It's been a minute since I've been on as a host. I was just on the other night as a guest host or a guest, but it's great to be back here on the only, or I should say, when I say the only, I mean like only in all capital letters, Philadelphia Flyer postgame show. And it's right here on the Edge of Philly Sports with me, Big Al, Michael Arrow, and Pat from Ambler. But tonight, you're back with me, Matty B. That's right. So strap on. We're going to have a good one. Hey, what can I say, man? You know, we come back from a a loss in a 6-0 loss to the Boston Bruins, and then you have an opportunity to turn around less or a little bit more than 24 hours later and face a team in the Anaheim Ducks who, let's face it, are worse than you are. That's one of those get right games or get well games, and the Flyers absolutely followed that script beautifully tonight in a 2-5-2 victory over the Ducks down there at the center. That featured some things that we're going to talk about here. Some really good things. Kevin Hayes with his first career hat trick. God damn. Does that seem right to anybody in his career? Kevin Hayes, first career hat trick at this point in his career. So congratulations to Kevin. And then Morgan Frost, man. Listen, I've been watching hockey a long time. I've been playing hockey, ref hockey. And what I saw tonight from Morgan Frost with that goal between his legs, not only does he take the puck between his legs, but then he switches back to the forehand between his legs and then goes top shelf over Anthony Stolarz for the goal. Definitely. I don't care if the Flyers don't win another game for the rest of the season. That is definitely a highlight of the top goals of this hockey season. Boy, that was a thing of beauty. A beautiful, 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 beautiful thing to behold as the Flyers were on their way to a 5-2 victory down there at the center. But before we get into that, let's drop down and talk a little bit about the network. And don't forget, folks, we got some things coming up this weekend. We got some Eagles, we got some Giants, NFC divisional game, round two. Obviously, we're going to be on location, the EOP crew, down there at Kelly's Corner Bar in Leicester, PA. Please stop in, check us out, check out all the great stuff that we're going to be doing for that game. We got you covered pre, half, and post game for that event. Kelly's Corner Bar in Leicester, PA. I believe it's in Delco. And then just the lineup on the show or on the network this week. Busy weekend or a busy week as it always is. Of course, everything is building up towards this weekend. But let's get into what we've come here tonight to talk about, and that is your Philadelphia Flyers and your Anaheim Mighty Ducks. Let's go right to the action, shall we? As I mentioned, one of the best ways to put behind a 6-0 loss to a team that is far superior than you, as the Boston Bruins are, is to get back at this thing as fast as you possibly can. And maybe the schedule makers knew what they were doing. I don't know. But the Flyers were back at it tonight. And Kevin Hayes got things rolling early for the Flyers. 13:32 mark of the first period, his 11th on the power play. Flyers were 1 for 5 on the power play tonight, and we'll get to that here in momentarily. And that would be your first period score, 1-0 Flyers. But then the Ducks would find their way onto the scoreboard in the second period. Adam Henrique, his 15th of the year, tying things up at 1. And then Risto, and, you know, the 12:43 mark, his first ninth shorthanded goal the Flyers have scored this season will give the Flyers the lead for good, 2-1. Yes, you heard me right. Risto's first goal of the 2022-2023 season, making it 2-1. Then Morgan Frost with that butte at the 19:21 mark of the second, making it 3-1. Kevin Hayes would have had his second of the night, his 12th of the year at 2:30 of the third, making it 4-1. Frank Vetrano would make it 4-2 on the power play as the Ducks tried to climb their way back in, but little too little, little too late. That was at 18:51. And then Kevin Hayes would finish off the hat trick at the 19:16 mark of the third period, his third goal of the night on the empty netter. And that's how you have it, 5-2 Flyers. Your stars down there tonight, Kevin Hayes, no doubtably your first star with his 3-goal performance. Risto with his first goal of the year gets your number 2 star nod, and Morgan Frost will come in with that 3rd star, and definitely deservingly so, because goddamn, was that not a thing of beauty? On the score, on the stat sheet for the night, the Flyers outshot the Ducks 39-27. 39-27. The Flyers would finish the night 1 for 5 on the power play. They did pot a shorthanded goal. The Ducks were 1 for 3 on their power play. The Flyers now on the season, where is it? I'm looking for it. Are now 23 for 139 on the power play. It works out to about 16%. An interesting stat that I researched for you guys. Over the last 2 seasons, and this is going back to all of last year and up to this point of the season, the Flyers have gone 51 for 327 on the power play. Yeah, you heard me right. 51 for 327. That works out to about a 13% efficiency rate. Do you guys remember back in the day and back last year when we were calling for Michel Terrion's head because it was his fault that the power play stunk so bad? I guess we were wrong because, boy, that has been a thorn in my ass with this team for the last 2 seasons. Their inability to score goals on the power play. They did get a power play goal tonight. Just 1 for 5 though on the night as they follow that up. It was yesterday 0 for 6. So now 1 for 11 in their last 2 games. Guys, it's not too hard to kind of unpeel this, right? It's not too hard to unwrap this present. They got to score more on the power play. 1 for 11 on the power play over the last 2 games is just not going to get it done at any level of competition. It sure hell is not going to get it done at the NHL level. And that's what we are right now with this team as we continue to kind of muddy through this. Dave, what's up? How you been, Dave? I take it you're good. I get you're probably pretty happy. But yeah, 1 for 11 on the power play just ain't gonna get it done in any level, and especially the NHL level. But it did get it done tonight for the Flyers as they won 5-2, pulling themselves further away from the Connor Bedard sweepstakes. Whereas, of course, the Ducks are heading straight into the old Connor Bedard sweepstakes. But it was all in all a very good game, a game that you really wanted to see. Again, the schedule makers maybe taking a little bit of a break on the Flyers. I don't know, but you're looking ahead at this and say they had to get their confidence back a little bit after what happened yesterday, and they sure as heck did that tonight by beating up on a lesser team. Sam Ersing gets the win. He was in net tonight. He faced 27 shots, saved 2 of them, finishes the night with a .926 save percentage. He was opposed by former Flyer Anthony Solars. He faced 38 shots, gave up 4 goals, finishes with an 8.95 save percentage on the evening, and that's how you get 5-2. Up next for the Fly guys, a pretty easy week. This is a get well week. I mentioned this in my article last night. The Flyers will face off against the Chicago Blackhawks on Thursday. They'll go to Detroit on Saturday, and then they'll be back home on Sunday against Winnipeg. All winnable games, and take that any way you want, but it's all winnable games. Any win is a good win, Dave, and yeah, they did. It was a good win, but contextually, guys, come on, man, what are we doing here? But they did win the night 5-2. Easy week. 19-19-7 now on the season, and if the season is not ending today, but the Flyers now find themselves 5 points out of that final wild card spot in the Eastern Conference as they're now chasing the Pittsburgh Penguins, who hold that current spot, and they are 5 points up behind the Penguins. The Penguins were idle tonight, but there were some teams that were not idle, and let's go take a look around the league, shall we? Some of the games that have gone final already. Montreal defeats the Winnipeg Jets 4-1. Toronto over the Florida Panthers 5-4 in overtime. Minnesota beats Washington 4-2. Games that are still ongoing and kind of working themselves out. Columbus is out in Nashville, and they are down 2-1 to the Predators as they are wrapping up getting close to the end of that game. Out there in Chicago, it is the Sabres over the Blackhawks 3-1. They are just underway at the third period, and out in the desert, the Red Wings and Coyotes are tied at 1, about halfway or coming to the end of the second period. And in Edmonton, Seattle is trailing the Edmonton Oilers 3-1, again coming to the end of that second period. And that is your look around the league. As I mentioned, the Flyers currently 5 points out of that final wild card spot in the East. Florida and New York are the only 2 teams ahead of them. in that race right now, which is amazing in the Eastern Conference. Buffalo, Detroit, Ottawa, Montreal, and the Columbus Blue Jackets are all behind the Flyers in standings. I mean, what is going on, man? What is up? But yeah, that's the reality, man. It's the reality of things as we move through January here. The Flyers are a playoff contending team. They are pushing for a playoff spot. And the way they've played since the holiday break is a testament to that. The schedule is also a testament to that. But I got to see them against competition that they would see in the playoffs. And so far, they really have not fared well against that competition. But when you're talking Boston, you talk Toronto. But I don't know. I guess we're going to move and we're going to find out a little bit more about this team as we continue through the schedule. Again, next up for the Flyers, Thursday night at home against Chicago. We will be here, of course, after the game, bringing you all the post-game action. It won't be me. It'll be somebody else. I think it's Al. I think. I really should know that before I come on the air. I am sorry. But there you have it, guys. Flyers 5-2 winners over the Anaheim Ducks at the Center tonight. Don't forget, if you're going down this weekend to catch the Eagles game, there's no other place to go but Dolan's Bar. They have $8 cheesesteaks, $8 wing cheesesteaks every Eagle game day. They got giveaways, great drink specials, and you never know who might come through the door. Rob Cherry, see, I always say that. I don't know. Dave Cherry is there to help you out if you have any workman's comp, motor vehicle accident, personal injury, criminal law questions, 610-565-0300. Tell Dave that EOP, Matty B, and Clear the Ice is sending you over there, and he will take good care of you. And Philly Sports Trips, they want to remind you guys of the Birds Ultimate Arizona Trip Part 2, heading out to Arizona on the weekend of February 10th to the 13th. That is the Super Bowl. $500 deposit, fully refundable deposit gets you a reserved spot on that trip right now. Of course, if you need that money back for obvious reasons, they will refund that money for you, no questions asked. And don't forget, head over to Sherry's Ticket Town. If you're looking for tickets to this Sunday's game, look at tickets to the Flyers game. Look at the tickets to anywhere, any sports concert or theater venue, www.sherrytickets.com. Family owned and operated since 1946. You save an additional 10% if you enter the promo code EOP10. Flyers 5-2 winners over the Anaheim Ducks. You can see, we can talk a little bit about Sam Ersson getting the opportunity tonight. Carter Hart a little bit rattled in that Boston Bruin game. A lot of it rattled in that Boston Bruin game. What's going on with Carter Hart? He has not played well lately. People are going to say it's the defense. I don't necessarily agree to that. Carter Hart's been shaky all season, except for those first 2 weeks. Other than that, he's been shaky. Yeah, you can blame some of it on the defense. Carter's got to take some accountability on some of that as well. Sam Ersson gets to start tonight. Maybe low-hanging fruit for Sam. Got it. It's the Ducks, but still an NHL team. He played well, gets the win. Kevin Hayes, first career hat trick. Morgan Frost, the highlight goal, potentially of the season, not just for the Flyers, but maybe around the NHL. All of that equaled out to a great night of Flyers hockey as they defeat the Anaheim Ducks 5-2. And as for me, I will be seeing you guys later. It was great to be back talking with you on some Flyers, clearing the ice as we are 19-19-7. I don't know how that's happening, but 19-19-7. So join us on Thursday night as we'll be back talking Flyers, Blackhawks. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, let's go Flyers.